I also want to point out his weak physique. Okay, he had an autoimmune disease. You know, a lot of that is psychosomatic. A lot of it is psychosomatic. You know what happens to a person when they turn away from truth and they take in psychiatric medications for a really long time? Do you know what happens to them neurologically? Do you know what happens to their inner voice of truth? It gets stuffed so far down and their system gets so wrecked that the symptoms start to show up in other ways that can't be managed by the psychiatric medications. And that, well, that can belie a lot of malevolence. It can belie a life unlived, a lot of bitterness, and a lot of resentment, and a lot of ugliness and hideousness that wasn't addressed with a sober, rational, self-knowledge process through journaling and active self-reflection in the moment. A lot of detritus, a lot of bad stuff can start to stack up at the bottom of the soul and fill a person up in a nasty way that, yeah, it can't be controlled anymore by the psychiatric medications. So that's speculation a little bit, but it doesn't change the fact that he's weak. He's weak. He's physically weak. He has a crooked sort of scarecrow posture, and he's got a throaty voice. You know, as you heal trauma, your voice starts to go down into your body, you know, particularly if you're in a good posture. I'm sort of like at a funny angle here with my chair because I bought a chair that's too high than normal. But generally you have a situation where you have good posture, and then as you heal your trauma, the tension starts to lift out of your throat, and it starts to lift out of this area right here, this tightness in the jaws. It drops down from the throat and into the chest and eventually into the stomach. And if you look back at a video of mine from like 5 years ago, you'll notice how heady my voice is. And Elliot Hulse has talked about this too. This has a lot to do with bioenergetics. It has a lot to do with Alexander Lowen and how trauma is stored in the body. And so a man who makes it this far into his career with the reputation as a psychological person or something like this, having a high, froggy voice, it's not cute. It's not a meme that he sounds like Kermit. It's a reflection of his traumas. It's an inability for him to feel more at ease with himself and deeper into himself because he's caught up in the intellect and waving around all these magic wands in his head to make psychological truth go away. That's what he did with the psychiatric medications for years. So that's what he's conditioned to do now neurologically. It's just a part of who he is. And he needs to really transform that if he wants to be more at ease with himself. But what does he care? What does he care? He's making so much money. He's being lauded by so many people who are seemingly intellectually respectable. Like, what incentive does he have at this point in his life to do it? I don't know. But I don't like it. I don't like the throaty voice. I think it's weak, and I think it's a reflection of not having integrated the trauma that you carry in your body. And there's a lot of truth to it, and if you want more information on that, go check out Elliot Hulse's videos on his voice. You'll see how throaty he was and how up in his head. You can even look at my videos. You know, I'm up there. So, you know, way in the past, you know, a number of years in the past. So let's keep moving on.